Hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here and you enjoy this series, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and share it with your friends so more people can learn alongside you. In today's video, we're going to display guilds in our front end. In the previous part, we set up the backend for fetching guilds from Discord. If you haven't watched that video yet, I highly recommend going back and watching it first. That way, you'll understand the backend setup before moving forward with the front end. All right, let's get started. First, open the project in Visual Studio Code. The very first step is to take everything inside our app.js file and move it into our routes index.js file. So copy everything from the return statement in app.js and paste it inside the return object in index.js. Since we no longer need the useQuery hook inside app.js, we will also remove it from there. After that, make sure to import everything that is required in index.js. This is very important because missing imports will immediately cause errors. Once that's done, don't forget to save the file. Now we'll add a new link button that will redirect us to /dashboard. Just under the user button in the signed-in element, we will add a link element from TanStackRouter. Inside this link element, we will add a button. For the link property, we will set the value to /dashboard. If you want to, you can also delete app.js entirely, since we don't need it anymore. But if you do remove the file, make sure to also remove its import from main.jsx. Next, in the hooks folder, create a new file called user.js. Inside this file, we're going to use the useQuery hook to fetch guild data from our backend. But before we do that, we need to install the Axios package. Open a new command line window, navigate to your frontend folder, and run the command npm install Axios. Wait until the installation finishes before moving forward. Once Axios is installed, we will set up our custom hook. This hook will use useQuery to fetch guilds from the backend server. I'll paste the code in the video, and then I'll explain step by step what's happening. So feel free to pause the video and copy down the code. First, we import the useQuery hook from TanStack React Query. The useQuery hook makes it very easy to fetch data from a server, handle loading states, errors, and also cache results for performance. Next, we import Axios, which is the library we will use to make HTTP requests. Then, we create a custom hook called useUserGuilds. Inside this hook, we call useQuery with two main options. The first option is query key. This is just a unique identifier for our query. React Query uses this key to know which data it is fetching and to store it in cache. For our case, we use the key userGuilds. The second option is queryFN, which stands for query function. This is the actual function that will fetch the data. Here, we make a GET request to /API/user/guilds using Axios. Once the response comes back, we return the data from that request. Finally, we return the result of useQuery from our custom hook. This means whenever we call useUserGuilds inside a component, we get access to the guild data along with React Query's built-in features like loading state, error handling, and automatic caching. Now, let's move on to displaying this data. Inside the routes folder, create a new folder called dashboard. Please make sure to check the spelling before creating it. Inside the dashboard folder, create a new file named index.jsx. This is where we'll display all the guilds coming from our backend. At the top of this file, import our custom useUserGuilds hook. Then, destructure the isLoading property and the data property from it. I will rename data as UG for simplicity. Now, we'll create a simple if statement. If the data is still loading, we will display text that says loading. You can also add a spinner or even a skeleton loader for better user experience. But for now, just showing the text is enough. Next, we'll use the card component from shadcn UI to display our guilds. Let's quickly install the card component by running the installation command from the shadcn documentation. Once installed, we can start building. To avoid repeating code, we'll create our own reusable component called guild. Just under the main function component, define a new arrow function named guild. Inside this component, we'll use the card component from ShadCN. You can copy the card code directly from the documentation and paste it here. Now let's start the Frontend server by running npm run dev. Once the server starts, click the link in the terminal and then click on the dashboard button. You should now see a basic card on the dashboard page. Now let's update our guild component to display the actual guild data. First, we'll add some Tailwind classes to the main div so the layout looks clean and responsive across all devices. I'll paste the class names in the video so you can pause and copy them. Also, let's clean up the __root.jsx file by removing the default hello root text. Now that the layout looks better, we'll design the guild card itself. First, we need to pass the guild data as a prop. Inside the card, we'll remove the card action section since we don't need it. We'll also move the card title and card description into a custom div to have more control. I'll paste the updated card header code and then explain it. Basically, we're using Flexbox to align the guild image and the text side by side. If the guild has an icon, we display it. Otherwise, we show the default Discord avatar. The card title will display the guild's name. The card description will show whether the user is the owner of the guild or just a manager. If the user owns the guild, we'll display owner. If the user manages the guild, we'll display manager. Next, we remove the card content section since it's not needed. In the card footer, we'll add a button. This button will either redirect to the guild management page or invite the bot to the guild. For this, we add a new prop called withBot. This tells us whether the bot is already in the guild. If the bot is in the guild, the button links to the guild management page. If the bot is not in the guild, we display an invite bot button. This button will allow the user to add the bot to that guild. To get the invite link, go to the Discord developer portal. Select your application, go to the installation tab, and click the copy button for the invite link. In the ref, we'll add two parameters. The first one is guild_ID, which we set to the current guild's ID. The second one is disable_guild_select, which we set to true. This forces the bot to be invited directly into the correct guild without letting the user pick another one. I already have two servers in my account. One has the bot added, and the other does not. So we can test both cases. Now let's map through the array of guilds. First, we'll display the guilds where the bot is already present. Then, we'll display the guilds where the bot is missing by changing withBot to withoutBot. Once we click on the Invite Bot button, it opens the Discord bot invite page in a new tab. As you'll notice, you cannot select another guild. The bot will be invited directly into the guild for which the button was clicked. I won't add the bot here since it's just a demo, but you can go ahead and test it yourself. And that completes the front-end part of our project. In this video, we learned how to display guilds on the front end. We created a custom hook to fetch guilds, built a responsive UI, and added logic for inviting or managing the bot inside each guild. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Also, comment if you're enjoying this series and share what topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. You can also join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Don't forget to like this video, as it really motivates me to keep creating more content. And if you're excited about this series or you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.